Welcome to the Patriots Lab, where we ain't even trying to make them liberals mad. Cause freedom of speech is what us individuals have. It's the gift when we gab, talking about things that the brainwash cannot mentally grasp, like staying loud and waving our American flags. This is for the free thinkers, wearing their MAGA and wearing the cags. Draining the swamp is the ultimate goal, but the sheeple will swear it's a fad, like it's just a phrase. But when we show them the facts, the fools got nothing to say. And deep government state wanna get up in our face, but hasn't done it yet cause Trump's in the way, trying to protect us from a troublesome fate. And because of that, we'll never lose our faith, plus God keeping us cool and safe. But I still hope we get 4 more years so we could throw a huge parade. I can see it now, Patriots on a float, and POTUS will go down in history as one of the goats for making the swamp pay for taking every one of his votes. His enemies are the cancer, whether or not Trump give him the smoke. Now relax it back and take notes as we kick facts with the homie Ray though. Speak your mind in the Patriots Lab. It's freedom time in the Patriots Lab, where we ain't even trying to, we make them liberals mad. I said speak your mind in the Patriots Lab. It's freedom time in the Patriots Lab, where we not even trying to, we make them liberals mad. I said, speak your mind in the Patriots Lab. It's freedom time in the Patriots Lab, where we not even trying to, we make them liberals mad. Speak your mind, it's freedom time. Without even trying to, we make them liberals mad.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Good evening, people, patriots, whoever you consider yourself to be, and whatever platform you are following your man on. If it is Facebook, good evening. YouTube, good evening. Twitch, good evening. Rumble, good evening. MeWe, good evening. IG, I get with you. Michelle Christian is in the building. Hello, good evening, good evening, good evening. Let me get to it real quick. Love your show. Thank you. Appreciate the love. Hello. Thank you for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe. Make sure you ring that bell so we can get these instant notifications. It's going to be a good one tonight. Also, what do I got to say? Oh, I will be, I know I got some links to send out to individuals, but once I get into my first video of the evening, I will go ahead and send those out. Don't worry, I didn't forget you. But y'all see the name of the title. It took me a minute to come up with a name for it, but it dawned on me this afternoon. I'm like, well, they're not physically, really physically doing anything to us in a warlike fashion, because it does feel like we're in a war. Some people call it a war between good and evil. A war between energies. But could it just possibly be that the American people are having a psychological warfare played against them? Psychological, mental. To try to convince you that you don't see things that you see, or things aren't as they seem to be. It's funny. It really is. It really is. Because they try so hard. And then they punish you. And then they punish you at the end of the day when you don't concede to how they want you to think. So you're supposed to defy everything that you see. I'm going to show you guys the first clip of what I mean about psychological warfare. Me, myself, I was a veteran And things of this nature would have never happened when I was there. Let me see if I can get my microphone right first. Let me bring this first clip up for you guys, and then I'm gonna send out those links. Remember, y'all like, share, subscribe. Let's see who we got first in the building. Okay. So, y'all remember when Donald Trump went out and spoke in front of that church, and General Milley got a whole lot of backlash for being there from certain people, and so he finally came out and he made a statement, and you be the judge, and I'm gonna get these links out here. I'm gonna be quiet, and y'all go ahead and just listen to this. If I can get my mute on, let me go ahead and share this. So we'll go ahead and do that.
For that introduction, but more importantly, for your leadership. NDU is world class and creates leaders who effect substantive change in the military, across the government, and among our many allies and partners around the globe. To the graduating class, congratulations. Be proud and appreciative of the opportunity you've had to read, reflect, and engage with your military, interagency, and international peers about the challenges facing our nation. You are the future leaders of our nation's joint force and our allied and partner militaries. Among you sits future chairmen, service chiefs, combatant commanders, and agency directors. Soon, you will all have enormous responsibility to protect our country and its values. The United States military faces many challenges. Abroad, China and Russia are increasing their military capabilities and taking assertive actions to exert global influence and challenge the existing international order. North Korea threatens our regional allies and potentially our homeland with the development of nuclear and ballistic missile capabilities. Iran is the world's largest state sponsor of terrorism, and they have taken advantage of instability to expand their malign influence and challenge the interests of the United States and an especially intense and trying time for America. I am outraged by the senseless and brutal killing of George Floyd. His death amplified the pain, the frustration, and the fear that so many of our fellow Americans live with day in and day out. The protests that have ensued not only speak to his killing, but also to the centuries of injustice towards African Americans. What we are seeing is the long shadow of.
Now, the reason I'm gonna stop it right there is because here he's a general, and what he is not supposed to do is go out, in my opinion, and do the work of the agenda of the White House. This is exactly what he's doing. He's not talking about anything militarily. He has now put himself in the political mouthpiece, as the political mouthpiece for this administration with the uniform on. Just listen to what he has to say.
Of our original sin in Jamestown 401 years ago, liberated by the Civil War, but not equal in the eyes of the law until 100 years later in 1965. We are still struggling with racism, and we have much work to do. Racism and discrimination, structural preferences, patterns of mistreatment, unspoken and unconscious bias have no place in America, and they have no place in our armed forces. We must, we can, and we will do better. And we should all be proud that the vast majority of protests have been peaceful. Peaceful protest means that American freedom.
Okay. Now, here we have Here we have, count them. What? 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we have a 4-star general is going to stand there in the camera. Now, we expect this from the politicians. We really do. Because we expect them to be biased. Some lean left, some lean right. You know how it works. But here we have a 4-star general getting ready to do the bidding for the Obama administration.
Is working. And I'm also proud of the response of our National Guard forces, who provided excellent support to local law and state enforcement under the control of state governors in more than 30 states across the country. We never introduced federal troops on the streets of America as a result of the combined efforts of the National Guard and law enforcement at quelling the violence and de-escalating very, very tense situations. We all know that our system in the United States is imperfect, full of passionate debate, and continually evolving. And we in the military will continue to protect the rights and freedoms of all the American people. The foundational value that underpins American rights embedded in the Constitution is that all people, no matter who you are born free and equal.
Now, he can actually do this. Y'all looking at it. He can do this with a straight face. Now, later in the show, I'm going to show you some video of some people that disagree totally with everything he's saying. But we can go ahead and let him finish.
And I want to address this value in the context of our military. Our military has a mixed record on equality. We fought World War II with a racially segregated military. The Tuskegee Airmen are just one example of courageous men who fought for freedoms they themselves did not enjoy at home. Racial segregation of the armed forces ended in 1948, and today the military has come to reflect the diversity of our nation, the strength of our nation. In recent decades, millions of soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guardsmen have been part of cohesive teams consisting of people of different races, talent management, and act on them. Mentorship also plays a vital role. All of us in the military must engage in more meaningful mentoring today. So how do you do that? As senior leaders, we reach down into the pool of rising stars among our troops. Allow people to demand change, just as the peaceful protesters are doing all across the country. That is why we serve in the military. On day one, you and I, we all swore an oath to support and defend the Constitution.
You hear that?
It's an essential American principle that all men and women are born free and equal. That is the foundation of our military ethos, who we are as service members and as an institution. All of us in uniform are willing to die for that idea, the idea that is America. And so we must also be willing to live for that idea, for freedom of speech, freedom of the press, freedom to peacefully assemble, and freedom to vote, and freedom to believe as you wish in your religion. These are essential freedoms that are the corner.
Okay. So, as you can see, what we were doing there, basically that's General Milley. And I wasn't going to play the whole thing because it went on very long. And that, I got to be actual and factual and honest, that was the wrong clip. Because the clip I was going to show, and I'm not going to go through it right now, was the clip with him and Donald Trump talking about how just basically apologizing for being there with him, and how he, imagined how people could have took it the wrong way. Dude, you're a 4-star general. You're standing there with the president of the United States. Why are you worried about how people are going to take it? So that lets me know where Mr. Milley stands. With a uniform on, don't respect the man, I respect the uniform. unfortunately. Where'd I hear that from? Some movie. Oh my goodness. You know what? I did try to send out the links, but for some reason, I don't know if I was too far behind on you, Rob, but it wouldn't let me do what I needed to do. But y'all go ahead and drop your comments. I know Jeff Wells is in the building. Sunny Hart is watching. It's crazy. It really is crazy. But this is the thing. We know exactly what we see. We know exactly what we see. I live here in the great state of Tennessee, and one of the greatest representatives that, in my personal opinion, that I believe we have here is a lady by the name of Marsha Blackburn. Now, I'm sure a lot of you might have heard of her, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to let you know what Miss Blackburn has to say about the situation, because it seems to be that we're not the only ones that know what the hell's going on. And a lot of people are pissed off. So let me see if I can get Marsha. Marsha. If I can get Miss Blackburn in here. But this is a clip with Marsha, and I believe she's about to go in on some actual and factual with Mr. FBI, because we know what's going on, and believe it or not, the people that are in higher positions and more qualified than us, they know what's going on too. So we can't be all crazy.
Mr. Abadi, I want to come to you because Tennesseans are incredibly concerned about the politicization of the FBI. And
Yep.
they have watched the FBI target parents, people of faith, people with conservative values. And I am often asked, what group is going to be next? And how did we get to this point? Because they have watched the FBI under your leadership draw their guns on a pro-life advocate. That was stunning to them. That was done in front of his wife and children. They have labeled parents interested in education as domestic terrorists. And all parents should be interested and are interested in their children's education. They watched the raid on a former president and a political opponent on his home. And these have confirmed their worst fears, that there are indeed two tiers of justice, and that there is a political cabal within the FBI that sees it that way. Because when Hillary Clinton mishandled information and she wiped her emails
Get him,
over
Marsh. Get him,
with
Marsh.
a tool called BleachBit, and
Get 'em.
then beat the mobile devices with a hammer and destroyed those SIM cards, you all basically said there's nothing to see here. There is.
See, I knew it just wasn't me. And you knew it just wasn't you. Even they know. Even they know. So what's really going on? They expect us not to see this. And if we do see it, they expect us not to say nothing. Like, I don't understand. Let go, Marsha. Get him, Marsha. Get him, please.
Is nothing to question. And when President Biden mishandled classified documents, there was no raid on his home or on his offices. But you see how President Trump has been handled with this. So it looks like the old playbook of distract and deflect. And the American people have a right to be concerned about this. Now I want to talk about Senator Grassley's information from yesterday.
Check this out.
Because when the FBI produced the document that you referred to earlier, relating to the Biden bribery allegations, and you gave that to House Oversight, you all redacted any reference to the fact that the foreign national who allegedly bribed Joe and Hunter Biden had those 17 audio voice recordings. So
Now, they messed up, man. So basically, they was like, all right, check it. We gonna give you some of this information. We're gonna give you some. Now we ain't gonna give you all of it. We ain't gonna give you all of it. We got. Did they not think, Democrats, you have a bad track record of concealing vital information? Don't y'all know sooner or later the shit gonna come out? Go ahead, Marsha.
So, first of all, why did you redact that part of the information?
Why? Why? Just answer the lady's question. Why?
Senator, first, as I said before, your assertion, or anyone who makes the assertion that the FBI is politicized, I reject it wholeheartedly.
She ain't say nothing about the FBI being politicized. Can you please just answer the question?
It's wrong, and it is not true. The work we do,
Okay,
the
Mr.
people I
Abate,
see
then
in
the
let me
FBI.
ask you this.
She-
You said in your response to Senator Cruz
She
that
gotta
you
back up.
and the FBI do your job to the best of your ability. So why don't you tell me what your job is? Is it to defend and shield Joe Biden, or is your job to
Is your job to defend and boom. That's a mic drop right there.
protect this country and the Constitution of the United States? Which is it?
the job of the FBI is to protect the country, keep people safe, and uphold the Constitution of our great country.
So why
Period.
are
That's
you
what we work to
using-
do every day, objectively. There are not two standards of justice.
You see how he's trying to cut her off at the path? Objectively. We do our job objectively. There's not two standards of justice. Well, you could have fooled me. I guess I must have been on vacation when y'all bum rushed Joe Biden's crib and ran up into his garage and found all of those secret documents, confidential documents. I guess I missed that, huh? I guess I missed that.
There is only one. It's applied equally to
Practically
each and
and
every
by
person.
perception, there are two standards, very clear standards of justice in
That's what I see. And I'm glad she see it. Let me know and let you know. See, this should give you validation right here, because they arguing about the same shit us little folk arguing about, except they arguing about it on a bigger level. So the shit is true.
this country. We see it every single day. The American people see this every single day. They look at you and they see a politicized entity that is weaponizing an agency of the federal government against the American people.
That is
They-
not the FBI that I
Out.
see, Senator.
That is
This. Well, I guess if you not on the outside looking in, you know how you can be in an abusive relationship and you or the other person really don't see it, but the people on the outside see y'all arguing all the time or this and that, and to them it's like, damn, or you know what I mean, that's what happens when you're in the matrix. You don't know what's going on. This poor man, his brain is so probably contaminated with he might be a robot. He might be a robot. Let me see if he blink.
That is not the FBI. You see, there are a lot of good people that work for the FBI, but you have a political cabal there. So why did you decide to conceal
I love she
the
used that word,
information
cabal.
in that revelation to the House Oversight Committee? Why did you redact
Here she is, back at that same question. Once again, she's doing a circle back. Let's see if we can get an answer.
all of that pertaining to the phone calls?
We have exceptional people in the
You're not
FBI,
answering the
very
question.
best.
Why did you redact that
And they work
information?
relentlessly every day to keep this
You
country
chose
safe
not
and
to
to protect.
This is one of the best fights I've seen because he don't want to answer. He don't want to answer, and she don't want to give up. Who's giving in?
Tech
Reveal
people.
that the
Period.
calls were there, and Senator Grassley found it out anyway. Is that accurate?
With regard to the
You chose to
document,
you chose to redact it, yes or no?
we often redact documents to protect
So you
sources
chose
and
to
methods.
redact the fact.
See how she got his ass? See? Only thing she lassoed his ass in there so smoothly. She just wanted to get him to admit that they redacted it. That's it. Not why. Well, she did want to know why, but he wouldn't give the reason why. But at least she got him to acknowledge that he knows what the hell he did. Boy, Marsha slick, boy.
That there are 17 voice recordings, 2 of those with the now president. You chose to redact that and not to give that to House oversight.
I have
Is
no
that
idea
accurate?
if there are voice recordings or not. What I will tell you with respect to the
You have
document,
no-
the document was redacted to protect the source, as everyone knows.
Well, then,
He planned. Oh, he don't know what. He don't know if it was. He don't know what was redacted, but he knows something was redacted, and he knows why. To cut. Go ahead. She can explain it. Boy,
And this
he's
is a
tripping me up.
question of life
my
and death,
time has
potentially.
expired, but I think it would be helpful if when you came before us, if you were willing to answer the questions, it would help to remove the perception that the American people have, because this is what they see. They see you do it every day, and that is politicizing the FBI and using it against the American people who don't happen to be named Biden, Clinton, or one of the elites. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
So that's why I give Marsha respect, because she call it like she see it, and there's a lot of others that call it like she see it. But you know what? In all light to getting shut down for what? Stating the actual and factual and stating the truth. It's what we see. It's not something that we make up. When the Hunter Biden laptop came out, and we know, and we knew, and we knew, and we knew what we knew, but then there were others that was like, no, it's not what you think it is. You didn't see what you saw. It's psychological warfare to try to convince you that you didn't see or you didn't hear what you saw or what you heard, and then condemn you or more for dare even speaking it. But we're past that now, aren't we? We are past that. We know the Hunter Biden laptop was real. We know it was real. And what's going to happen? We don't know. We don't know. Let me see. Who else do we have in the mix tonight? Let me see. But you know, they keep pulling up more and more information, and this is this is crazy. This is crazy because you know CNN and MSNBC and all of them people on the left, you know, they are depriving their people so much. What else do we have? Oh, I know y'all heard about the phone calls. Oh, but we got tapes. And yo, I'm getting information. Y'all make sure y'all go. What's up, Mona? I'm gonna send you a link if you'd like. Y'all make sure y'all go over and check out Dan Bongino because yo, those tapes are leaking. And if you don't know what tapes I'm talking about, check out Senator Grassley. He'll explain everything. So this way y'all can't say I'm lying.
American people by
Platforms,
hiding
YouTube,
the FBI
Facebook.
generated 1023 document from Congress and the American people. Director Wray was going to be held in contempt for refusing to produce the 1023 that I told Chairman Comer about, and I think I had that first conversation with Chairman Comer about 3 weeks ago. Then, instead of contempt, the FBI committed to showing the 1023 and related documents to the whole Congress. By the way, I thank Chairman Comer for his cooperation with me and how he's pursued this issue, because we know a heck of a lot more now than if he hadn't been involved in this whole effort. So the FBI showed.
Most people have no clue that in 2023, the best way to make money on Amazon is not with physical products. It's Amazon's other company, Audible. Audible pays me $8,000 to $10,000 every single month in passive income.
After the FBI committed to showing this document, they showed, but it didn't provide possession of the 1023 to the House Oversight Committee last week. And by the way, 1023 is unclassified. So why shouldn't the entire country know about what's in this 1023? As the public knows, that 1023 involves an alleged bribery scheme between then Vice President Biden, Hunter Biden, and a foreign national. The same allegations that Chairman Comer and I made public on May the 3rd of this year. And on the very same day that the FBI provided a redacted version of the 1023 to the House Oversight Committee, the Justice Department then announced that former President Trump had been indicted and charged with 37 crimes related to his alleged mishandling of classified records.
How convenient.
Attorney General Garland signed off on prosecuting Trump for conduct similar to what Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton engaged in. Two standards of justice in this country will turn our constitutional republic upside down.
Two standards.
Thanks
How many times
to
are you
the
hearing
political infections within the Biden Justice Department and the FBI, we were well along the road for that to happen. This senator will do all that he can to fight political infection in the Department of Justice and the FBI. And you fight it then by bringing transparency to what this government does. The public's business ought to be public. Transparency brings accountability. With respect to the 1023 shown to that House Oversight Committee, from what I've been told by folks who've reviewed it, it's filled with redactions. Now, the document that Comer and I read had maybe 2 or 3 half-inch redactions, not whole sentences redacted, as I'm told the document in the SCIF is. So, Director Wray placed redactions on a document that's already unclassified. As I've said before, unclassified. More than that, the FBI made Congress review a redacted, unclassified document in a classified facility. That goes to show you the disrespect that the FBI has for Congress. On a previous time on this Senate floor, I think I told my fellow senators that what's so unusual about an unclassified document being given to the public when, I think it was May the 18th of this year, there was leaked to the New York Times a classified document and even the name of a confidential human source. So we're kind of in a strange situation here.
Tell him, Chuck.
Classified document can be leaked to the New York Times,
But you can't get unclassified.
a non-classified document can't be made public to 300 million Americans if they're interested in reading it. Now, accordingly, Congress still lacks a full and complete picture with respect to what that document really says. That's why it's important that the document be made public without unnecessary redactions for the American people to see.
And Chuck is right. If it's now, you know, if this was anything Trump, they'd be willing to put it out there ASAP. But for some reason, they want to redact an unclassified document. You see, even Chuck Grassley says that it's gotten to the level of disrespect. For one, why he says that? Because the FBI answers to Congress. But they got roles reversed right now. We really do. It's Mama Mona. Hello. How are you, Lady Patriot?
Well, I'm probably gonna heal. I'm gonna get better. But everything I've been watching is like I think it's a big old meltdown. I got a feeling that things are going to turn around and start heading our direction. I think what they did with Trump, they triggered something. Okay, they triggered something amongst because if they could do it to Trump, they could do it to every senator in Congress in one way or another. Everybody. And I think maybe like Marsha Blackburn and Bo Bart, you know, and Gates and McCarthy even are a little bit on the we're going to get to the bottom of this kind of attitude. But it's going to take us making those phone calls daily. Use that weapon called a smartphone and call and let them know that we want indictments. We want handcuffs. We want people to pay for their crimes, real crimes.
Well, Mama Mona, I'm glad you brought that up because it's working. It's working, people. Here you go. And this will be the first one in. Let me go ahead and get this up here. And let's go ahead and let me see if I can. Y'all know I'm my own engineer, so let's go ahead and get this.
The vultures are circling, if you will. I think you see a lot of Democrats not saying anything to defend Biden, and I think that's an indicator that they're waiting for the next shoe to drop, and he will not be the nominee. This is going to be Trump. This is Trump's primary to win. This is Trump's general election to win, and the latest polling data shows that.
Okay. Well, you mentioned this, though. I want to dig into this. You're introducing these articles of impeachment against President Biden, but also Vice President Harris. You call the president a disgrace to the Oval Office. How many members would you say are ready to join you in this to try to impeach President Biden at this point?
Yeah, to be determined. We just had the information drop in the Senate from Grassley talking about the audio recordings. There's 15 with Hunter, 2 with the president, talking about Burisma. When I say president, I mean Biden. I mean, this is a clear pattern by the Biden family of leveraging politics for their own financial gain. And so there's a couple of paths that we could take with the impeachment process. Obviously, you can go through committee. Also, you can call up a special order, which brings it directly to the floor. So we're continuing to build a coalition. There's additional information that will be dropped publicly shortcoming. And I think you're going to see a momentum build to send a message to the American people that we're here to fight. And look, political prosecutions, persecutions didn't work in Rome, didn't work for the British Empire. It's not going to work in America. And we've got to take a stand. To have a former president targeted like this is really a sad day in American politics.
So they have, and see, I'm just happy to see the process. See, everything, I want everything to be laid out. So when it's ready to go, they ain't got to go back and do all this stuff.
The thing is, see, the impeachment of Trump was for coercion. Okay, that's not listed in the Constitution. But the reasons for impeachment and possibly charges of treason is listed in the Constitution, and the one of them is called bribery.
This man, Joe Biden, has allegedly been taking bribes for, man. Well, they say it really started with the transaction when he got his son on that board of Burisma. Yeah. That's when they really got their claws into him, and they got these audio tapes.
He bragged about it. He bragged about doing it.
Yeah. And now they getting ready to Devin, what's his name? Devin Archer. Yeah, they getting ready to put him under the gun. He's getting ready to flip. See, they didn't want to believe Bobolinsky when Bobolinsky came out. Everybody, well, I think people believed it like everything else, but they were forced somehow to swallow it. But I am really. They was going to bring him in, but I guess they were talking to him and his attorneys. I guess they worked out something. We don't know what that something is, but they worked out something to where he could just come on in Monday or Tuesday and have a little sit down. So you know when they say they coming to get you and you say, well, can I come in Monday or Tuesday? I might be, I might remember some more stuff over the weekend. But I always told people, Mama Mona, when it come down to it, don't nobody want to really go to jail. Don't nobody want to go to jail. They might not be able to send the big dog to jail, but the big dog and them don't care about these little people, and these little people ain't going to jail. But
I don't want any of them to go to jail, honey. I want them to go to Gitmo. Thank you.
Well, no, he got Gitmo all fixed up, billions of dollars and stuff. No, they need to go one of them nasty facilities that they've been funding for years.
No, honey. In Gitmo, they don't have any constitutional rights. Okay? At Gitmo, they're under military martial law.
Yeah.
There's no constitutional rights at Gitmo. I don't want them to go here where they can play the system with all of their rights and their, and things. I want them to just be taken off to Gitmo and tried for treason. All of them.
Well, for those of you who don't know, Donald Trump, he's a sportsman, and I find it kind of hilarious that he put the death by firing squad back into the arrangement of ways to die when you commit treason and high crimes and misdemeanors. I guess injections and hanging wasn't his thing. He's that animate outdoorsman.
We're going to go back to the way it was.
Yeah.
That was the way it is for treason. There's only one punishment for treason. There isn't any plea deal. There is no, we'll bargain, and there's no possibility of parole, or you got 3 days. under military tag law at Gitmo, when you are found guilty of treason, you will have 3 days to put your affairs in order, and you will face a noose. Okay, we got 6 brand new gallows at Gitmo. I even know the young man that was so happy that he hung the ropes. Okay? I want to see them go to Gitmo. All of them.
Well, they are preparing. They're preparing nice cells for them. As see, people don't believe it, but the day is coming. Retribution day is coming. I don't know if y'all. For those of you who watched the speech that Donald Trump gave after his
Yes.
indictment, the man. See, when he was in there the first time, he left y'all alone. He wasn't trying to ruin nobody's family. He wasn't trying to send nobody to jail. I mean, he could have. Now, whether he would have succeeded or he could have made your life hell. He could have really made your life hell, but he chose to just make America great. And
He didn't have the right people. They infiltrated his cabinet. He didn't have the right people underneath
but
it.
I mean, he could have attempted. He could have attempted to harm some people, and it would have been a battle. But he didn't even attempt. But in his speech, and I'll have to play it, but I ain't gonna get it right now. He said y'all broke the seal.
Yep.
Basically, y'all took the gloves off.
Yep.
Basically, I'm coming after your ass.
Yep.
Basically, no more Mr. Nice Guy. I'm coming back and hell's coming with me.
Yep.
And he means that. Donald means that. Donald means he let them know that y'all crossed the line. And when I come back, there's no mercy. Y'all show me no mercy. Do unto others as you want others to do unto you. Well, man.
And
Y'all
also
about
the big difference is he's going to have about 95 million people taking his back.
Well, he's gonna have more than that. He's gonna have more than that, Mama Mona, because what I've seen and what I've noticed, and I'll just use one of my partner's kids for example. I went over my partner's house today. My man, he's 68, and his youngster, I'd say about 36. They call them the Gen E, the Generation E, whatever they call them, millenniums, whatever. And they never Trumpers. And him and his friends, and oh God, they never Trumpers. But man, they cannot stomach what is happening now. And I sat in that living room. I stood in that living room and I looked and I was like, wow, thank you. Thank you. Y'all get it. Y'all get it. I appreciate that. Y'all realize it ain't about Donald Trump. It ain't about Joe Biden, this and that. It's about people breaking the law and persecuting a man that hasn't broken the law. That's it. It's just as plain and simple as that. They're persecuting.
And how many folks out there have felt that same way because they did nothing wrong, and yet they were persecuted for it. And now they're seeing somebody that can actually do something when he gets to be president again. He actually has the power to do something, not like me or you. Okay, who's being treated just like they've treated many a brother and sister. Okay,
they are allowing themselves. They're giving themselves a reason to justify the frustration they're seeing in their lives right now with the high gas prices and the wars they hear about getting ready to take place. And they care about stuff like that, but the mainstream media and this propaganda machine and what I've titled the show tonight, this psychological warfare that they have been portraying on the American people has gotten them blinded. But see, now their blinders are coming off, and it's giving them an outlet. It's giving them a reason to say, you know what? Shit is kind of fucked up in this country right now. Y'all are doing a bad job, right? See, the bitterness that they're feeling in their stomach from watching an innocent man being done wrong is allowing the rest of their feelings to muster up. And at the end of the day, I like to think Americans, I like to think we're genuinely good-hearted people. I genuinely like to think that without somebody nagging or something, it's like you move into a new neighborhood and you try to be friends with your neighbor, but then you got that one friend that come over and be like, girl, you shouldn't be talking to that person across the street. You always got that one that wants to prevent you from doing something you should have did. Because what happens is a year or 2 years go by, you wind up being friends with that neighbor, and you're like, damn, I could have been your friend a year ago, listening to my damn friend talking about you this and you that, and she don't even know you, but for some reason you listening. Girl, she look like she don't take a shower. You don't need to go to her house. She look like she lives sloppy, so you don't go over there just because that girl told you. It's crazy, but everybody has their wake up call, Mama Mona, and I think America can't stomach what's going on right now. But like you've been saying, it's gonna take all of us. We know. People just got to muster up the courage. People got to muster up the courage. Everybody know wrong, right?
The thing is we live in the modern age, okay? And them telephones everybody's walking around with, playing games on, texting with their friends. Now, every last one of your elected officials, from your city council, your school board, all the way up to the President of the United States, has a way for you to contact them in writing through email, text, social media. And the thing is what we did to Bud Light by just not buying the beer. Imagine what we could do if every one of us took 10 minutes out of every day and texted 10, make one text and copy and paste it into 10 or 15 elected officials every day. With that algorithm would start climbing. People would start passing it on. Somebody will come up with a really good text, okay, a really good statement. Somebody else will copy and paste it. Before long, copy and pasting becomes real quick. Once you get everybody's up there, you can copy and paste into their social media or their message site all day long. You can do it 10, 15 times a day if you wanted to. How many social media bullets can you fire a day? And all it takes is being able to. Marjorie Taylor Greene, when they went to Washington, D.C., and Gray Wolf and Brian, and then met with Marjorie Taylor Greene, she said, the problem is you elect me, then you send me here. And she says, I probably don't get 3 or 4 texts a week from my constituents. How in the hell am I supposed to know what you want me to do if you don't talk to me? Now, they're all saying that they work for us now, at least the Republican side is. Now hold their feet to the fire. And don't be blank, point blank. I want to see some arrests. I want these people to go down for their crimes. Stop dilly-gagging and get it done.
You know, Mama Mona, me and my wife, when she came home today, we were sitting outside on the porch.
Yeah.
And you know, I got it all decked out for the 4th of July and the Trump flags and everything. People just riding by, just looking. And I told my wife, I said, wow, just look at everybody riding by like they just don't have a care in the world. Just another day. Just another day. And she said, Ray, what do you want them to do? I said, not ride around and act. I said, I guess that's what I get for really understanding and being engaged into what's going on. And it's not about.
Maybe they're riding around thinking about how they wish they thinking the same things we're thinking. They're just driving around while they're doing it.
No, these a lot of people. No, I live in a tourist town, so these are just a lot of people just out having fun.
Oh,
But it struck me. I mean, and then I hear people say, "Well, I don't do politics." Well, this isn't about politics anymore. See, maybe I look at it in a bigger scheme of things. I don't look at it political anymore. When I see the destruction of my country, I don't look at it political, because it's not political, because believe it or not, you can believe it's being done by a lot of different people, and not all of them are politicians. A lot of major donors, a lot of major players are really at stake in a lot of these decisions that are being
Big
made
pharma.
out here. Yeah,
Big pharma.
this ain't about being president. This ain't about being president. This ain't about being president. These people could care less about locking Donald Trump up. They don't want to lock him up. They don't care. They want him to go away. They want him to go away. If Donald Trump said, you know what, I'm bowing out tomorrow, I'm taking my family, I'm off to it, they'd be like, Sayonara.
Yeah, like you said today, everything would just go away.
Yeah, everything just go away. And you know what happened? Well, I don't care. Even if you do got secret, you know that's why I'm so glad that we have a praying president, and a president that don't mind being prayed over, because I think about it. I ain't gonna lie. I keep it actual and factual. I'm like, how is my man still walking around? I know how they used to handle shit back in the day. I'm not naive to this. He's pushing them. He's pushing them hard. He's pushing them to the brink, to where they don't care if they look insane, out of their mind. They don't care. Do you know how far you got to be pushed before you just say, I don't give a damn no more? Believe it or not.
Trump's tenacity. You know, he's like a big old bad dog with a bone.
You know why? You know why? Because at the end of the day, he knows, and I know, there ain't a damn thing gonna happen to him. Donald Trump, whether you like his characteristics or how he is, he's a law-abiding citizen. He goes through all of the proper channels. I started doing this, 6 years ago, following my man, doing on this ride. What did we tell y'all from the beginning? My man is on like 5D chess player level. Before my man even got into the murky waters, he planted seeds in the pits that he would fall in. He planted seeds to grow a bed of something nice and fluffy for him to fall on and catch him. If that makes any sense. Because he knew he was going to fall into these traps. That's why he appointed old girl that's down there in Florida that they are now talking about, well, it's a conflict of interest. No. Y'all, that's what happens when you so quick to want to do something. You knew you didn't have jurisdiction in New York, but boom, you forgot. You had to take it back to Florida, and he already put the chick there in place. He already seen that move coming. And where's the last stop on this Trump train? Where he took everything else to the Supreme Court. Nothing is happening to him. He's going to withstand the blows. Lord knows he's got the pockets to do it. And then I'm sorry we even got to go through this. What up, Jay? Good evening, bro. What's good?
Hey, what's going on, man? How y'all doing? What do we got? Talk to me.
Question: Are we in the realm of psychological warfare?
Absolutely.
Okay.
100%.
So
Hey,
it was hitting me. It was hitting me this afternoon. I was like, damn, I need a name for the title. I was like, well, they're not. It's not a physical warfare. It ain't like we got tanks and stuff and we fighting yet. Everything they doing is mental to us. They trying to get us to say we don't see stuff we see, and if we do see it, we just gotta bite down, bear down, grit it, and don't dare say nothing because there'll be consequences and repercussions. So we're in a war, man, for speaking the truth.
Right.
For speaking the truth. How many lives were destroyed about the Hunter Biden laptop? How long was they saying this stuff doesn't exist when they had it the whole time?
Yeah.
I mean, man, really?
I've been in all kinds of combat, man, and I want to say that, I think physical combat is actually probably more. A human being's more capable of dealing with it because you can see it, you can feel it, you can interact, and you can engage it. But psychological warfare from these different agencies globally, not just here, that work with our nation, is you can't see it, you can't touch it. You can only you're attacked through rhetoric and propaganda. And it's a lot of my videos. I actually do use propaganda against them, against the deep state, against the covert operation that takes place all over our country. Now, I think this started, brother, right about the end of Barack Obama's seat in office is when it most likely started way before that, like back in the 60s, and then there was a void of it because people somewhat started waking up a little bit, catching on to certain things. People like me and you, and then
it started with Bill Clinton.
Here, I agree with you. I can agree with that. I think,
Clinton
and then Barack. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Bill Clinton and Epstein. Okay. I think they got a whole lot of people in very vulnerable positions. And I think they had all kinds of stuff that, if you don't do this, you're going to be a pedophile or a child molester. And we got proof. And I think Epstein and Clinton worked that whole gilly wig out a long time ago.
Yeah, I could agree with that. I think,
they got something on it.
What do you think about right about that time that the morale of our nation was broken, completely just broken down as a family unit, as a united country?
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with you guys.
That actually happened when we gave up the dining room table.
Yeah.
When dinner became TV trays in front of a boob tube, programming us every day. Okay?
You said it.
Instead of sitting around the table and figuring out what's in people's heads. Okay? That was the end. That was the ruination of the family when we gave up the kitchen table.
I agree. You hit the nail on the head with that one. What do you got? Real quick, what do you
Go
guys
ahead.
think about how can we restore that? And I'm a big guy on family values. How do we restore family values back in to the family unit in the United States?
You begin with your church groups. You begin with your men groups in your churches, your women's groups in your churches, and you all make a pact to see how many of them can and turn the TV to the wall. Okay, put down the telephones, everything else, and make a pact to spend 30 days having dinner together at the family table without interruptions. You have to turn your phones off, whatever, because go back as though it was when you didn't have telephones, okay?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
didn't have TV. And for 30 days, spend every evening as though you lived back then.
You know what though, Mama Mona? You know me. I was about to play a video, but I gotta interject.
Come on, brother.
I don't, and I say this because I've experienced it different. I remember the times when, because I was raised by my grandmother. Now, grandma, she had dinner. She cooked when she came home. I didn't start cooking until I was older, but she cooked. On the weekends, breakfast was always made. Of course, I had chores and stuff to do like that. Now, my brothers and my sister being raised with my mom, totally different lifestyle. They fended for themselves. They took care, they took care of themselves a lot of the time, because my mom was working, and she had to handle her business. I think it blatantly comes down to just having a level of respect.
Well, there's something to be said about when I talk about the dining room, the dinner table. Okay, when we had dinner, everybody participated. You carried.
And I understand that, but what I'm saying is, we want to be able to go with technology and the times.
No.
But no, we got to. But we got to be able to do that and still be able to maintain a level of integrity and a level of respect towards one another. You still have to know and understand the pecking order of your parents, of your older brother, of your siblings. You still have to understand that. And that just comes with respect. There ain't no amount of sitting down at a table, putting cell phones away.
Why do you Why do you have to make your bed so precisely in the service, right? Why do you have to do that? What's the importance?
That right there teaches you attention to detail.
What else does it teach you?
No. That teaches you attention to detail, because every time you go out on the grind or you go anywhere, first thing you do, you coming back, you're looking at your rack. You're making sure it's perfect. It's attention to detail. There's nothing else that comes up. You're looking at your shirts, making sure they all line. Attention to detail. There is no other explanation that they're going to give you if your shit is out of whack and they come tear up all your shit. They're not going to say, well, you didn't think this, you didn't think that. They're going to say you didn't pay attention to detail.
You know why my kids had to make their bed every day?
Why?
They had to make their bed every day to learn responsibility.
Yeah. Okay.
They had to be responsible for their own stuff.
That's right.
The reason you sit at the dinner table is you're responsible to every member of the family. And you learn that your responsibility is to each and one of them first and foremost. Whether it's to pass them the potatoes, hand them the chicken. Okay? Hey, pass me the salt. If it's conversation across the table, you're learning things that they're at that dining room table. You're never going to learn from technology. You're learning respect. You're learning to say please and thank you. You're learning to give a respect to the eldest at the table. You're learning all kinds of.
Mama, I ain't being comical, but there's been plenty of times. There's been people sitting in the living room with a TV tray, and I'm sitting at the table minding my own business, and they're like, yo, Ray, Come over here and give me some of them greens off the stove. You get that same respect,
No, you don't.
that same level.
You don't.
Mama Mona.
Just yelled at you across the room. They didn't ask.
Now that's your opinion. That's your opinion, and you're entitled to it. But out of respect, I still got up and did it. See, that shows the respect that I have.
But the respect, but you didn't get mutual respect if you were asked to get up.
Why?
When you're sitting at the table, you don't have to do that. You're right there with one another.
There's been plenty of times I was outside playing, and my mama didn't feel like getting up to change the damn channel, and I had to interrupt my Skelly game just to come change Mama TV channel. We were raised different. But it was all done in love, though. It was all done in love. You know why? Because Mama made sure dinner was on. Dinner might not have been in the table, but there was dinner. Well, it might not have been served around the table, but there was dinner. You know what I'm saying? There was clothes on my back.
I know in the 50s when people, and I'm sorry, but our generation that was raised in the 50s.
Well, didn't I tell you that's how my grandma was? My grandma was the type I had to be in the house. She would come out on the outside and be like, Ray, time to eat. You know what I'm saying? And let me bark back. Or I knew what time it was to eat. See, and that's the difference. It got to a point she ain't had to tell me. I knew Mama got home at 5:30, 5 o'clock, 5:30. It was time to come rolling in the crib and wash my damn hands. Don't go straight to the table. Don't let her see you go to the table. You better go wash them hands. But it's a different time.
I could agree on both sides, but I think. Go ahead. I'm sorry, ma'am. Go ahead.
The thing is I know that we might have to go back to some very basics because children today, generations of children today have not learned those very simple manners. Manners, please.
Right.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Can I open that door for you? Can I, how many men today get out of the car and walk around and open the door for their wives?
It's respect.
Their wives let them open the door for them. Okay?
They know it.
How many men stand up in a room when a single woman walks in? How many times does a woman walk up to her chair and have somebody hold her chair while she seats to help her sit down? Simple manners.
But Mama Mona,
courtesy.
Us as men, we know those are requirements of us, but we got to choose to want to do those, and it all goes back to having respect. If you ain't got no respect, you ain't gonna run in front of 3-4 ladies and go hold the door open to Macy's or wherever and let the last one walk in. And if you ain't got no respect, you ain't gonna do that. You ain't gonna do that. If you see some
respect at the crib, those lessons.
Yeah.
Crib.
Yeah. Okay? I'm just saying it don't necessarily gotta be around the dinner table. That's all.
Well, I'm saying that if you was to bring back that dinner table, just that one thing, one little bitty thing, if you were to bring back the dinner table for 30 days, not asking you to do it forever, I'm asking it to be done for 30 days. It takes 30 days to create a habit, okay? So take 30 days and set a time for dinner, a time to put the phones and everything else away, and sit at the table and have dinner together for every night for 30 days.
Who's Eddie? Who's Eddie Earhart?
Eddie, he's okay. He's all right.
He said he has a lot to say.
He probably does.
Well, say it. Is he on Facebook?
I don't know. I don't know. I know he gets in the chats all the time. He's in YouTube. Mona Miller, hello, Eddie. But come on in.
I'm trying to look him up.
Can you put a link on the YouTube?
Yeah, no, I got him.
Okay.
Eddie, I just sent you a link on Facebook. You're more than welcome to join us on the platform. Don't know what happened to Jay. It's Some people, Mama Mona don't never have a problem with connection. Are you on an iPad or something?
Who, Eddie? I don't know.
No, you. Are you on an iPad?
I'm on my laptop.
Okay, that's why you don't have people. Patriots, I always tell you, you're gonna have problems, technical problems if you're using your phone, because I'm using StreamYard and it does not adapt well with those other devices. But Jay's trying to come back.
I am back. I am back. Sorry.
Okay,
Bad
Eddie,
connection
you're
on
on
my
the
end.
cell. That's no problem. Go ahead, Jay. The floor is yours. Go ahead.
Man, I think that I agree with I agree with both of you guys, and the simplicity of things that we need to go back to. Like, when was the last time somebody opened the door for you, bro? Or when was the last time that you were? I haven't had a flat tire in a long time, but if you think about it, when was the last time you drove down the interstate and somebody was broke down and had a flat tire, and the poor lady standing there with the little boy, little Joey, and little Judy, and not one person would stop and render aid? I think that has a lot to do with it. And then we also live in a world where if someone was to stop and render aid, the person that's in distress is automatically on kind of not a verbal defensive side, but there's a sense of fear there, because what's going to happen is this guy going to help me and my children? Am I about
How
to
much
be
money is he
robbed?
going to want? Yeah.
Right. How much money is he going to want? I mean, when my grandparents raised me too, man. My grandfather was United States Marine 20 years. My grandmother was from Dalton, Georgia, an extraordinary woman, Christian woman, believed in America and God and family. And I just it really, I'm appalled at the way the youth of America are like overabundantly okay and happy. It's like the more ignorance that they can produce verbally or in action, the cooler they are. And I think to myself, where are we going to be after this election? Are we about to go through the same dumbfounded state or sense of ignorance from young America that we went through when Trump ran for campaign the first time? Or is this going to get cleaned up a little bit and things are going to be more stern? There's respect's going to be demanded on a higher level, and people are going to stand up and say, okay, we're not going to buy you that $500 game console this year, but we are going to buy you a bunch of books. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it does.
I gave my girls Christmas clubs accounts for their Christmas.
Yeah.
You know what?
Trying to save money. And my
Yeah.
daughter goes, "Mom, you gave me a bill for Christmas?" I said, "Yeah, and you
Yeah.
got to pay $5 a week to it too."
You know what's
Yeah.
this is what's hard. I was watching a show the other day, and it was on people like Walter Cronkite. You had people
Right.
on there. What was her name? She passed away. But Barbara Walters.
Barbara Walters.
You had veteran journalists back in the day that no matter what side of the aisle that they fell on politically, they always dared to challenge both sides because they believed in the integrity of doing their job.
Right.
Now, what has happened over the past 10 years, the news outlets and the news organizations have infiltrated themselves with a bunch of journalists that average between the ages of 27 and 35, that have no life experience,
Right.
never been through any type of real hardships, no real outlook on actual reality of life, and they're very programmable because they're fresh, so you can program them like a kid.
Right.
So they have
Yeah.
they have these kids out here on these news outlets spewing their propaganda because they really don't know no better. They don't have
Yeah.
any experience to feed back off of.
Yeah.
They
They actually
don't.
haven't been on the earth long enough.
No. To have anything rise up in them and say, you know what, this is wrong. I've experienced enough to know that. No, they're just going along with the flow because they don't know no better.
It's kind of like
Right. I agree with you.
Spoiled little kids that's been given a job and they're willing to do anything to keep it. Wow, I'm 26 years old. I'm on TV. I'm anchoring a news network.
Yeah, I think
I was a house parent at Girlstown, and they get these young kids straight out of college, never had no children, have no no idea how to discipline unruly teenagers, trying to tell me how to be a house parent.
So
that's something, ain't it?
One lady,
Man,
the way to punish a child for disrupting in school is to make her sit at the table while I read to her all day long.
I'm not going to say how they punished me when I was a kid, but it definitely wasn't that. Ray, I think that I think we're still. I hate to say this, man, and I love my country. I served. We're in a bad place, man. And psychological warfare is one of the most efficient and most powerful weapons that tyrannical systems use on the people. And you know, I mean, like we were talking about the school shootings last time I was on your show. Where did that come from? I mean, when you were 16 years old and you got mad at your peers in high school, did you go home and contemplate getting like dad's deer rifle and going to school the next day to even the odds?
No, but it's supposed to be a coincidence that it starts when they start with the bump stock and all of this shit. When they start to wanting to take away people's guns, well, is it me or you, or did they have to have a reason? So if you don't have a reason, you make up a reason, don't you? I mean, I guess you do.
Right. Yeah.
I guess you do.
Yeah.
Now I got a little FBI clip here. I love when the FBI gets their ass chewed to them and tries to act like we don't see what we're seeing. Do we want to show that one? Yeah, we'll do the FBI clip first. Oh, go ahead, Ted. We'll let Ted have this clip right here.
If you are not, every one of you should be deeply concerned about the damage being done to the integrity of the institutions in which you operate. My office hears regularly from FBI agents and from assistant U.S. attorneys who are likewise concerned about the politicization and weaponization of the Department of Justice and the FBI, and this is profoundly damaging to the rule of law in our nation. Last month, a whistleblower brought to light the existence in the FBI of a report, an FD 1023, in which the informant alleges that President Biden and his family members engaged in a $5 million bribery scheme during his time as vice president.
No.
Deputy Director Abadi, is it true that the FBI has a report making those allegations?
I'm not going to comment on that, Senator.
And why is that?
I'm just not going to comment on information we received, investigations.
Do you owe an obligation to the American people to be candid about evidence of corruption by the President of the United States?
This is an area that I'm not going to get into with you, Senator.
Well, I understand you don't want to, and that's why people are mad at the FBI, because you're stonewalling and covering up serious allegations of evidence of corruption from the president. Yesterday, Senator Chuck Grassley stood on the Senate floor and alleged that there are 17 recordings of this informant from Burisma, Ukrainian natural gas company. 15 of them are recordings, voice recordings of him talking to Hunter Biden. 2 of them are voice recordings of him talking to Joe Biden. Deputy Director Abate, does the FBI have 17 voice recordings laying out evidence of a bribery scheme?
Senator, I would add also that we've worked with the House Oversight Committee.
Yeah, this is the
provide
Senate. We're the other
document
side
that
of the Capitol. This is the Senate. Do you have those 17 recordings?
I'm not going to comment on any investigative matters, Senator.
See, that's the problem. The FBI, and I've had this conversation with Chris Wray too, this is why you are damaging the institution. The American people have a right to know.
You're damn right.
Whether there is serious, credible evidence that the President of the United States took a $5 million bribe. And by the way, if it's false, Chairman Durbin just rolled his eyes. If Chairman Durbin were interested in the rule of law, we would have a hearing on these allegations. But of course, the Democrats don't want a hearing on these allegations. And to be clear, if the allegations are false, you know who could disprove them? Joe Biden. He could call for this to be released publicly.
The idea of having
I got commercials in here,
just didn't sit.
but Ted Cruz getting his ass.
But the FBI is stonewalling. Would you agree?
Two things, Senator. No one's
Sure.
stonewalling. The 1023
You just said you
was
refused to answer the
provided
question.
in response to a subpoena.
Okay,
to the
then why'd
House
you refuse
Oversight
to answer
Committee.
my question?
The pertinent information is there, and I reject your assertion that the
Why
FBI
did you
is
refuse
politicized.
to answer my question?
I just answered your question.
Okay, so yes, you have a 1023. Do you have the 17 recordings? Yes or no?
I'm not going to get further into that.
So you're stonewalling. You can't say I'm not refusing to answer your question, but I won't answer your question.
I'm going to answer within the parameters that we operate in.
That's the problem. The FBI has right now an unlimited hubris that you believe you are unaccountable. You don't believe you're accountable to the United States Congress, and you don't believe you're accountable to the American people. And you are doing damage. The FBI is a great institution. When I go home to Texas, people ask me, should we abolish the FBI? Now, I tell them no, because you have heroes and patriots working for you that are catching child predators, that are catching terrorists. But you're sitting there happily erecting a wall to protect Joe Biden. Will you provide to this committee, not the House, the Senate Judiciary Committee, will you provide the FD 1023 and will you provide the 17 recordings so we can assess what is the evidence, the specific credible evidence that Joe Biden personally took a $5 million bribe from a foreign national?
Senator, we will work with this committee.
All right, that's enough of that asshole. I just wanted to show you what they're going through, and
Yeah.
I watch all of them about every day.
And I just put it up here because I had a lady saying, where you at, Michelle? Where is it? She said it best. I wish more Americans would watch or listen to the congressional hearings. People, patriots, whoever you consider yourself to be. Hey, the congressional hearings are for everybody. Now, there might be some stuff that, some mainstream media news platforms want to black out, but they are showing the congressional hearings.
On Forbes.
Yeah.
On Forbes.
All of them. Yep.
So,
I say, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead. What were you saying?
I say, to everybody that watches your show, along with the people that follow me. I don't have a really large following any longer, which is okay with me. Whenever you come across this intel, you got to get it out there because nobody else will. Like Fox News Channel's not going to do it. CNN's definitely not going to do it. Local news, they catch little snippets of it, but they never give you enough information. So, man, I don't watch a lot of the congressional hearings. I catch small snippets of it and try to get the important stuff. But you got to post that stuff, guys, because there's thousands upon thousands of people that have no idea that these things are taking place right now. And they go on about their merry little lives with Starbucks in the morning. Nothing against you guys, the franchise of Starbucks, but or whatever nonsense that's absolutely not important in creating something that transpire positively in this country. That information has got to get out. And Ray, you're like me, man. You don't have a problem with saying what needs to be said. But that's the one thing that we could touch on about the congressional hearings. I actually know people that will not post or share anything like that on any social media platform in fear of retribution from the FBI. What do you got for us?
I mean, they know me. They've been to my house on more than one occasion. I've done nothing wrong. But then again, that doesn't, in the days that we live in now, who knows? But
you don't have to do anything wrong to get in trouble.
You're right. I just like to keep it actual and factual. I'm going to show y'all the last clip for the night. And this is a very disturbing clip. And then after I show the clip, I'll let you know why. And I want to get both of you guys. I'll get both of you guys' opinion first before I give my 2 cents. And we'll start with Mona. But I'm going to show it. And I just want you to tell me what you think about it. And then I'll go ahead and can y'all see that?
It's still coming on my end. There it is.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
All right. That's that used to be my man Vinny, but we're gonna listen to Vinny. See what Vinny got to say.
Commitment on January 20th, 2025, if I'm elected the next U.S. president, to pardon Donald J. Trump for these offenses in this federal case. And I have challenged, I have demanded that every other candidate in this race either sign this commitment to pardon on January 20th, 2025, or else to explain why they are not. And I will tell you something. It's going to be difficult for those other candidates to sign this letter. The reason it's going to be difficult for them is the same reason it's difficult for me. The donor class has been calling every Republican candidate and telling us to stay away from this, not to touch it from a 10-foot pole, not to keep your distance away for Trump. That is what the donor class is telling us. That's what they're telling the other candidates. I refuse to abide by being a disciple of the donor class. This is my commitment on January 20th, 2025.
Okay, Vemaswani, we heard your commitment, bro. Wait, what do you think about that, Mama Mona?
Good political move for his part, and he's not going to get him president, but it's a good way to keep on the good side of MAGA. Okay,
you think so?
Yeah. Well, he's vowing he's going to pardon him for something that he didn't do. Pardon him for what? He's innocent till proven guilty. And what I get from that is he's already guilty, but I'm going to pardon him if I become president. Well, you don't have to pardon somebody that ain't been found guilty of anything. You kind of jumping the cart before the horse. Okay? I don't believe that Trump is going to see a single prosecution. Okay? Heads are going to roll before his. And when the big head goes by, the big man, whatever, the big guy, when his head and his little tully-whoop Kamala Harris head goes rolling down the impeachment aisle, they're only doing this because they want you looking at that. They don't want you listening to these congressional hearings. They don't want you listening to Bogart. They don't want you listening to Marsha Blackburn. They don't want you listening to any of those people. They got to keep you focused over here on something. Oh, my God, Trump has been indicted. Okay, an indictment is a piece of damn paper.
Mama D. I'm sorry. Mama Darlene. I hope you are feeling well. I heard you had liver surgery. No, I heard they had to take your liver out. We're going to come see you soon. Yeah, I hear you're living in the RV, but it's a brand new one, so I'm sure you're comfy in there. I don't know why a woman prefers to live in an RV rather than a big old house, but I don't know. Well, no, you got 7 dogs from what I hear now, and coming off of surgery, I guess too many feet walking around the floor. But thank you for tuning in tonight, because I know you're not in the best of health, and we wish you and pray for you to have a speedy recovery. I had to cut you off, Mama Mona, anyway, because we was talking about something else, and you went out to left field on me. But no.
I'm just saying that I just don't think. I think the man has kind of got the cart before the horse. All right.
Okay, Jay. Well, Jay, before you answer, let me give you a little scenario to spice up your answer. You got a little beef. You got a little beef with a couple of people, right? So something happened, and now you got to go confront these people. Now I'm gonna go with you, right? But I'm not going with you to fight. Now, even if you get beat up, I'm not going with you to fight. I'm going there so I can be a witness to give an accurate police report to what happened. What kind of person do you think? What kind of friend would you think I was? I'm not going there to fight. I'm just going there to watch you get your ass whooped, and then be able to tell the police what exactly happened. Am I a friend?
Yeah, I got enough people that stand on my side that's willing to pass me a bottle of water when I run by, man. So,
what do you think about Vinny?
That's I don't know, man. It's shitty. It's kind of shitty in my opinion, man. You know, I mean, it's either you're all in or you're not. You know what I mean?
That's what I was waiting to hear, Mama Mona. How can that man?
For one, where are we going?
How can that?
All,
This is my problem, Mama Mona. And see, it's not just with him; it's with all them damn Republicans over there. How can you come out and say you're not willing to stand up and fight for a man that's being unjustly done? No, you gonna let him be the sacrificial lamb, and you're gonna be like a vulture. And you're going to just circle over him like everybody else, you opportunist. That's all you are, Vinny.
You got it.
Because if you really cared about his innocence, what y'all running on making America great again and great American values, well, if you ain't going to stand up to the corruptness that's going on, that's the initial start. That's the initial start, bro. There's too many of y'all that's trying to run for president that want to sing this kumbaya, this too shall pass shit. No, there's only one man talking about, I'm holding you cats accountable for the dirt that y'all did. And he stood on it, and he's standing on it since day one. And this clown, Vinny, whatever his name is, I will pardon him after he takes all the abuse unjustly. I will let him take all the blows. He's my competition. He's really my competition. I want him out the way, but I can't say that. But I'll be there for him after he's all beat up, battered, and bruised. Don't worry, I'll be the first one to get the key to the cell door for you, Trump. I know you're innocent, buddy. But no, man, I gotta let them do this to you, bro. Helps me out, man. Helps me out. What the hell kind of shit is that, man? I wouldn't vote for him because he ain't. If y'all ain't standing up to them now, what makes me think y'all gonna stand up to him if y'all get in the Oval? Yeah. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on. Proof is in the pudding. Show me something. I ain't gonna vote for none of y'all.
I think that
I'll vote for
Trump. So it doesn't matter. He and you know what? Legally, he can be president from a federal pen. Legally.
Yeah, because he can be a felon and be president, and they already talking about impeaching him. Damn, Eric Mulder, he coming out. Well, we can't have a felon in the president's office, so we might as well file impeachment proceedings. If he wins, I'm like, dude, he ain't even won yet. But that let me know right there, Eric Holder. There's a chance. There's a chance. Yeah. He just might get back in. See, that's all I needed to hear. Well, if he gets in, we'll just have to impeach him again. So you know something ain't a guarantee, huh? Yeah.
You know what solves all this, man? If I'm wrong, I apologize, but this is all opinion, guys. This is not reflection of Ray Ray's show.
Our politicians need to just smoke weed. That's what they need to do. Smoke some damn weed and chill out.
A lot of it. But
I don't care what you say. You smoke some good weed. You don't want to do nothing but eat.
until God-fearing representatives of every state in this union stand up and demand that the Constitution be upheld and abided by, and that it's absolutely the supreme law of the land, and they hold them to the point. They hold them to the fact that when any form of government has become destructive of the people, it is absolutely the right of all people to abolish and institute new form of government, and realize at the end of the day that all of us, every state in this union, every standing American man, woman, and child, we're all joined together by our lives of fortune and sacred honor. We're never going to get the change that we want, brother.
You know what? I just
What do you got
had a brain swell. It's like the Constitution and the Bible might be two in the same. A book that many people might have, but never open and really read.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah,
thought
I
about
agree.
that. I just thought about that.
You know how many
Yeah.
people do not?
Same
I,
thing.
I I was amazed when a man running for local senator here, I was introduced to him, and my question to him was, okay, well, what did you score on the civics test? And he said, what?
Yeah.
I said, Constitution test. He says, well, I've never taken it. I said, you mean to tell me you want me to vote for you and expect you to put your hand on a Bible and swear an oath to
Yeah.
uphold a constitution that you don't know a damn thing about? I said, that'd be kind of stupid on my part, wouldn't it?
And you know what? It's a shame because outside of the military and constitutional scholars, it'd be frightening to think of the number of people that don't know the Constitution, don't know the Bill of Rights, don't know the Declaration of
That one
Independence.
reporter, okay, that used to go out on the streets all the time and ask questions.
If they do know it, they're not standing on none of that shit.
And then he'd ask questions like, what's the Second Amendment? I don't know. He'd ask questions like, what is your, what are the 10 Bill of, what is the 10 Bill of Rights? I don't know.
Yeah.
Who was the first president? I don't know. I mean, you're like, my God, Bertie, how in the hell did you get through college? And these are on college campuses. He's asking these questions of people. And I'm like, Jesse Waters would go out and ask these questions.
Yeah.
And it was like,
I like asking young people like questions like, we'll be talking and they're telling me about, well, I listen to all kinds of music, a new music artist or a video game. And I'm like, who's Thomas Paine? They're like, who? I'm like, Thomas Paine. They're like, I don't know. Is he an actor? Like, no, he's just a common man that helped found this country on prosperity. So, maybe more of us should go out and drill them like that. It might bring, might bring some awareness to some of these young people, and they realize, man, there's a whole mess of information that's truly important that I have no idea. People until the young children from the age of reading, when they start reading, if you don't take the time to teach them about the founders' documents, whenever they get up in age, like 21 and up, life becomes abundantly horrible for them. And that's how I feel.
Mike Huckabee has published a whole set of children's books on those very subjects. They're very, very good. If you're looking for a Christmas gift or something like that to give to a young person today, he's got this new one he's got out for free, is Knowing Donald Trump. But he's got Knowing all the Founding Fathers, and it's all done in nice cartoon type thing that the kids will really enjoy reading them, the pictures and stuff. And there's a whole set of books teaching government and constitutional skills that Mike Huckabee has put out for children. You ought to look into it. They're a great set of, if you're going to give a kid something for Christmas, give him the understanding of why he has freedom.
All right. Hey, patriots.
Hey, before you go, who's got some dirt on Santa's this week?
On who?
On Santa's.
DeSantis?
DeSantis, yeah.
I don't, I've lost respect for. Well, hey, he's got another Latino down there, Francisco, the mayor of Miami. He said Francisco said I might as well get into it too, and I don't. Francisco is just like DeSantis. He's just like Tim Scott. These people, they're not running for president. They're not running for president. They're running for VP. And they're running for cabinet positions. They're running for Secretary of State. And people that were right, no, they're running for president. Idiots, no, they're not running for president. There's only one person running for president with a 61-point lead. So, did I stutter? No, 61-point lead. So, and it ain't going nowhere. It didn't do nothing but climb. So, for you to think it's going in reverse, you got another thing coming, buddy.
Let's take Marjorie Taylor Greene and put her as the head of the Justice Department.
No, we gotta put her in a hawkish position. She's got to be in a hawkish position where she can hurt somebody.
That's what I said. If she is the number one person under Trump handling the FBI and the CIA,
like Nancy Rice was, like Secretary of State. Yeah, they got power.
Yeah. Prosecuting. She needs prosecutional power. Whatever candidates calls prosecutional power. Okay, because I got a feeling that lady would some heads would roll.
Hey,
I agree with you.
They gonna get it though.
I want to ask you guys, and then I got to go walk the doggy. All right, Here's a serious question. Where do we go from here, Patriots? Well, are we going to turn this around? Are we going to turn it around this time, or are we just going to keep letting them mow the backyard and destroy the establishment?
We got to start making the phone calls. That's the number one thing we got to do right now, because we have a Congress right now and some judicial committees and foreign affairs committees and stuff that appear to be working on our behalf because we're watching them live. They decided to be transparent, and all the hearings are live. You can see them and listen to them, judge for yourself. So what we need to do is we need to give them the power, because each one of those phone calls is recorded. There's a number given to them, okay? And when you do make those phone calls, those numbers count. When they start doing things, it counts how many people are on their side. And we need to make those phone calls. And people don't think that a phone call can do anything, but it most certainly can. When you have it, it's kind of like the miracle on 34th Street. One letter to Santa Claus didn't make him Santa Claus, but millions of letters being delivered to him made him Santa Claus. Okay. So we need to play the miracle on 34th Street game, and snail mail is still an option, a good one, because they have to look at every single envelope that has to be tested for anthrax. Okay.
Right.
That comes in. So it has to get handled. So I tell everybody to send a postcard, because everybody can read a postcard. Right. Okay. And postcards are easy. So, but send in postcards, make phone calls. That's how we move forward.
And I will leave it with this. Everybody has their own and good ways of standing up to what's going on and bringing change and making change. But to me, at the end of the day, the phone calls won't get made. The letters won't get sent out. The protests won't start. The overwhelming show of support won't show up until you, America. You have to search your heart.
Yeah.
You have to search your heart. And you have to look yourself in the mirror and say, what type of person am I? What
Right.
type of person do I want my kids to perceive me to be? What type of person do I want God to look at me and perceive me to be? And once you make that choice, once you make that conscience choice, everything else will come easy. The letters, the protests, the phone calls. Once you put your heart in the right direction, not in a political direction, not in the direction of no certain individual, because you know what? At the end of the day, there's going to come a day when Biden's gone, Trump is gone, and they live in wherever they sent off to in the afterlife. And we're still going to be here to deal with issues. And the best way, the only advice I can give you, the best way to navigate through them circumstances and to make good, conscience, healthy choices and decisions, search your heart. We as human beings, we know the difference between right and wrong. Don't nobody got to tell me fire is hot. Don't nobody got to tell me water's wet. Don't nobody got to tell me when the sun is out. These are things that we come equipped to be able to automatically identify to. And the same thing in this instance. We see exactly what's laid out in front of us to see. We're not imagining any of this. What you feel inside, eliminate the label equation and ask yourself, what's going on without a name? Is it right? Is it morally right? And at the end of the day, only a sane person would come up with the conclusion and the answer of no. It's not right, no matter who the individual is. I wouldn't want my worst enemy to go through unjustified crap. Now, if it's justified, unleash holy hell on them. I've been down. People, you gotta know. I don't know. That's all I can say. Y'all got the last words, and then I'm wrapping up out of here. This is crazy.
Man, I'm going to get out of here. Same thing as always. Free market, free men, a rule of law, and the Constitution be upheld under a founder's republic and extend to all colors, race, and creed. When tyranny becomes law, rebellion becomes duty. Always an honor. My heart goes out to you and all American patriots that are up and standing. Please keep doing what you're doing. I give you the utmost gratitude, and thank you for allowing me on your show. And we're going to meet somewhere in this country, man.
Yeah, we are. We will definitely. I'm grounded right now, but man, I got a lot of making up to do. Man. But
Branson, Missouri in November.
All right. Sounds like a date. You bring the coffee, I'll bring the donuts.
November this is the 4th through the 12th.
This is the second annual one, Mama?
Yes.
Okay. Well, Mama, you get the last word, Bug Slugger.
Guys, thank you for all the prayers this week. I'm going to be better. Maybe I'll be a little richer, I'm thinking, because my lawyer says I will. But that'll be nice. But I want y'all to stay in the fight. Don't give up and start paying attention. And like he says, go to Forbes and like and subscribe on Forbes so that you get all of the congressional hearings. Okay?
All right. Yeah. People, Patriots, I appreciate y'all for tuning in for another Friday Night Liberal Smackdown. It's been another great one. In Till the next time, in between time, you already know, either be there or be what. We are out from the lab. Peace and love, everybody. Have a great weekend. Be safe. God bless.
Later.
What you doing this weekend, bro?
Yeah.
You there? Ah, he left.
matters.